Well, guys, welcome back. This is Pete Dahlgren, and we're working on the Mirasmiles F86. Now, there's a lot of things I'm actually working on right now and configuring because I'm changing some things out. And noticeably, you guys will notice that I am putting gear doors in here. And I carefully cut these out, so they did. And this is a 4.5 inch blank, so I could check the fitment. And then the doors, they're self-explanatory. Now, the one thing that you got to make sure that you do is have your wing bolted on. You're going to have to do it upside down. And the one thing is, I did this. I wish I'd have done this before it actually sheeted everything because of the way it kind of turned out. And I think one of the biggest reasons was because I had so many other things going on that I wanted to keep going with the build. As far as landing gear doors and stuff, there are a lot of little things that go in here. And one thing I will tell you guys is that if you take something out of something in here, you're going to have to figure a way to get it back in there. And what I mean by that is that cutting these doors out, you're going to be cutting out what was here is actually your lower keel is going to have to be replaced. And we'll do that back here with some scrap plywood. Now, these do work. And basically what I will do now is cut these in. And as you can see, if you save your parts off your jig and stuff like that, a lot of them, your spacing will be all right, but don't be afraid to go out there and cut where they are. But you need to add 2 keels back into it, and they will go approximately on this line right here. And this will give me enough room to be able to come in and actually do this. But it's important that you notch it in the frame and get it and glue these or epoxy them. Either way, they'll be fine, but they do need to go back in there. This one will be just fine. And as you can see, I have 3/8 blocks, and I'm going to take these out and clean everything up and get these fit. And then this I'm going to make out of actual aluminum and put it in there. Now, I'm figuring everything out now and trying to get it all kind of sit where it is so that when this door comes open, there will be a rod that comes right in here. You got to be careful on its placement. But anyway, once that comes on, the actuator that actually turns it's going to have a small little notch, and I'm just going to have to live with that. Now, once it's done and it's locked in place, these are a full 100 degree landing gear in there, and they work out quite well. Carton really did a really good job on this, so I've already showed this to death. Now, you're going to need 90 degree, and I really highly suggest that you learn the differences between light ply and aircraft plywood or birch plywood. And I'm going to show you a cross section of it. This is what I use for my landing gear. And as you can see, it's laminated like crazy. Where light ply is just, it's like in the lumber industry, it's just called blows. But it's not very rigid. And one thing is that if you have aircraft plywood, like I did on my main gear blocks, which I'm showing you before I actually sheet this, I did this to actually incorporate it all the way through here. And these are epoxied in. And my motto is on this is that I want every bit of this unitized in it. So everything that's done is, if you look under here, everything underneath this is blocked up. It's just, and it's done on both sides. So, and then this will get more of it in through here. And then I will actually come back and with this is 3/8 by quarter. I will set more of this in here and then glue the other piece, which is also aircraft plywood, in like I did there. And then this really strengthens the thing. I mean, my motto is on main gear, if you're going to yank anything out, you're going to take half the wing with it. And it's a big airplane, so I just overbuilt that on purpose. And I did the same thing up here, but also I did not want hardwood blocks in there because this is a lot stronger. And some guys may argue that. Now, this is the brake line, and once I get everything else kind of set in, they're all set to where they are. And to make the brakes work, these are custom made Helios as well, and they would probably support an 80-pound airplane without any question. And basically, to get them to go and work, I've had to come in and make sure that they are completely and totally identical. Now, I ran all of my wires in through here beforehand. They're all in there. And I do like to drill these in here, and that's why I've not glued these in. And I make my own ends, and everything else is good on that. Basically, what I'm doing is making this so this doesn't get pulled out. And I am using MPX connectors for all those joints. That's the best way I know to do it. And it just simplifies the installation. Now I'm going to be running 2 quick connects, but these are the main wing ones. I didn't run them through and around here. What I did is I made them so that if I ever cut one or broke one, I can reach them through the inside of the wing root here and actually pull them through and replace them just by pushing them through, and it's easy to do. So it's completely and totally serviceable. Now with the wires, this is standard high-tech wire, nothing special. You get it in 50-foot rolls. It's not very expensive, and it's just what I use. And then you got to make sure that you have them done. And I secure them to the inside ribs in here, but I leave enough in there, and I did masking tape on purpose, guys. I'm not going to zip tie any of this. That's because if I ever do screw up a wire, I can still get through and fish that wire through. If you look, you can actually wire this airplane after the fact. And you can fish those wires through anywhere. You can do it through these. And that's why I use masking tape, so that if I ever have to pull a wire through, I can literally rip it off in there, rip it out of there if I needed to, without breaking anything or leaving an extra wire floating around in there. So I just use blue masking tape, and that works really well for securing the wiring. Now, the tube, you want to be careful with this tube. Okay, guys. One thing about these things is that there are a lot of things that need to be done. You need to sand this out so it does not hog out your holes. You need to sand this down. I used 1000 grit on it on the other side. This one's fine, but don't try to shorten it. And the reason being is because it needs to be tight, and there is a bolt that goes in here, a T-nut that does go in, and it bolts up here. Now, before I did this, I had a lot of guys asking me. Now I want to show you this. I add 1/4 by 3/8. I don't put big blocks because this doesn't set well with me. So what I do is I actually set 1/4 by 3/8 on the wing leading edge in here. What that does, guys, it gives you a really nice little gluing edge. If you see on here and you look on that, it gives you a really nice gluing edge to go to. So, and it does work out extremely well. I have not done these yet. I was just getting ready to do that. And then you can put 1/4 inch thick, and I laminate my wing tips and my leading edges with 1/4 inch. I just, 2 of these laminated together, chances of it flexing or breaking are nil. And you can do it with as much scrap as you want to. I've seen guys do it. Did it on my Spitfire. Used 330 seconds and laminated the tip until it was there. Made it look like plywood, and it was extremely strong. So I think one of the biggest things is that you got to kind of look at everything you're going to be doing here, but you also want to make sure that you're building this for absolute success. And that means not cutting any corners. If you see things that need to be overbuilt a little bit, don't be afraid to do it. Another thing I haven't done yet is put in my other blocks, which go in, and they're just half-inch blocks that get glued in to the backs of those, and then I will drill them out, and then I will laminate like I did in here. You want to make these pockets so that these hinges will sit in there freely, and you just mark them. I talked about that before, and this is what I use for these. You just cut them down to where they're going to fit. And basically what it does, it gives you a really good pocket for gluing, and they come out looking like that, straight as a gunshot. Just make sure you're building them all the same. You can do these in any other way, but really, guys, just having a peace of mind and actually building these in like this just makes a lot more sense to me. I'm getting ready to finish these up, and then I'm going to finish up the gear. I'm going to get that bolted up and get that so I can remove it, and then I'll start sheeting the swing. Now it won't take me very long. And again, I've talked about the wings. Another thing too I want to bring up is that these wing tips do not stop here, guys. They go all the way to the end, and so I need to get some 1/4 inch, laminate them, and actually make them actually go to where the wing tip is going to be. And I'm going to start doing that here very soon. I ordered some 1/4 inch, and I'll show you kind of what the plan is here with just a little bit of this. And what I will do is I will just add these pieces 1/4 inch thick and just glue them together, and then I'll sand them out and trim them out. It's not a big deal. And so I'm getting real close to actually getting the airplane ready to finish the glassing. And once I get the glassing done and everything done, then I'll go a little bit over these pylons. They're a pain in the butt, and I don't even know if I want to use them. They're nice, but we'll see. I like the airplane kind of clean looking, so I don't know if I'm going to put way more than it really needs to have on here. I've already done a lot, but then again, I've been working on this airplane going on 2 years already, so there's a lot of things that are making me want to go fly. So I'm getting ready to start getting the turbine done. I'm going to run it. I'm going to start getting some other stuff done. And then I'm waiting on a few other things. And the cockpit kit is one of them. And I've been waiting on it forever. So I'm either going to start collecting pieces and making it myself, or just wait for whatever's going on with the other, or modify a 3rd scale to make this work. It's just, I'm getting tired of waiting for it. It's something that's going to kill me on time for Top Gun, and I just need to make sure that I've got the airplane basically ready to go. So I haven't tried on it, got lights, I got all this other crap going on here, but I don't have anything else going for it. And I'm waiting on parts basically, guys. And till then I can't really finish the build, but in the meantime, I'm going to start getting doors and actuators and things like this and whatever done, and get this airplane ready to fly, because I'm not going to paint it before I fly it. I'm going to take it out bare bones, and I may not even primer the wings yet. I'm going to get this thing ready to go and go get some flight time in it. And another thing I'll be working on here very soon is getting the actuators done. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to actually cut these off and put the actual pods that go in there. And got a lot of little things to do, wiring, and we got a lot of work to do here yet. So, but the main thing is getting the landing gear configured and getting the airplane to where it's actually done. I may also, just because of how much we've done in here, I may also go and modify the main fin up there and thin that out and make it sharp. Kind of goes against my better judgment, but we put so much into little things like that and this and that, it just doesn't make sense not to do it. So, this all being said, I'll be doing some more videos. They're going to be very slow and quite a few here and out. And the main reason for that is because we are waiting for things, and I'm trying to make decisions on whether I want to go back and cut into something I already did to make some other things just a little bit better. Because at this point, I've already done the build. This is everything I've showed you up to this point, except for wingtips. And getting the rest of the gear configured is pretty much been done. So I'm still available, guys. If you guys need any help with anything, please do give me a message and I will return it, or find me on Facebook and we'll see where we're at. And I am also going to be on Facebook here in just a minute and doing another fun episode. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the funny papers.